Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Film Formula. I am your homegirl, Shakita Unlocked, and I'm coming to you just natural today. Like, I got my hair in twists, I didn't put on no makeup, I put on some lip gloss, and I was like, you know what, I gotta make this video. I have been a little bit under the weather, but I want to be as consistent as I can without sacrificing my quality of life and all of my time. But yeah, I was like, let me get on camera and post a video because like I feel this unctioning, like this. I just feel like I gotta get this out, today. If I don't get it out today, it just won't come out. And so this is just unrehearsed, unscripted, raw, like just from the gutter. And so I was thinking about all this year I have been processing. I've been healing. I have been regurgitating drama, generational curses, like going through each stage of my life to when I was a little girl and just like putting pieces together and digging up little things that didn't make sense then, but they make sense now. I just been doing so much healing this year. And it has been incredibly lonely. It has been incredibly lonely. I have cried. I have asked God for strength. I have felt betrayed. Just all kind of emotions. But what I'm getting to is that it's been a hard year, but it has also been the most successful year at the same time. Now, when you hear the word success, you think of money. You think of, a title. But the success I'm talking about is the liberation in my soul. That has been the biggest accomplishment of 2025 is getting liberated in my soul. And one of my biggest conclusions this year is that I have been hiding my light because I feared judgment from from the people that know me, people who don't know me, people who I may have grown up with, people who I went to work with, people who I may have encountered, throughout college or when I lived in Atlanta. I've been hiding. I've been hiding in plain sight from fear of being considered unworthy. Now, here's the interesting thing about me. I have a ton of gifts. A ton of gifts. Like, I can go through a Rolodex of how gifted I am. Yet, I have struggled to put myself out there because of fear of support, fear of visibility, and fear of criticism. And it's such a double-edged sword because there's no way to progress through life, business, love, relationships, friendships, except for being visible and vulnerable. And the fear and the trauma that I've experienced over the years made me not want to be visible, not want to be vulnerable. Case in point, I have been a real estate agent for 2 years. I have been a mortgage broker for almost 6 months. And I have never really posted about it. Like, I have kept it so, I've posted here and there, but I would never be consistent with it. I would never put it on every single platform because I was so afraid of being unwelcomed. Like, I remember growing up being considered to be the unsmart one. Like for some reason I was just considered to be the dumb one. But here's what I was considered to be: the shapely one. Like, all the men would see me walking down the street. They would see how voluptuous I was as a teenager, as a young woman. And I was always like nitpicked at for that. But when it came to like actual achievements, I was always uncelebrated. I remember graduating from esthetician school and nobody from my immediate family came to my graduation. Now, it was in Georgia, it was in Atlanta, and it was during the week, so I know it was inconvenient. But I don't even remember getting a text saying congratulations. Like I remember having my daughter and nobody from my family like came up to see her when she was born. And I was still living in Atlanta. Like I got so accustomed to not being supported till I unknowingly, and maybe even deliberately, maybe a little bit of the both, I started hiding my gifts because I felt as if nobody would support me. All this year, I have been digging up the pain of being uncelebrated. And it's been such an amazing experience and so trying at the same time, because you really don't want to expose a wound that deep, because what can come out of it is anger, resentment, distance. But I had to come to the realization that I had to dig this up. I couldn't live with this anymore. I don't care who cares. I don't care who heard my story. Like, that shit was vile. It was vile. But I know it had to happen for me to become who I am today. So I'm making this video. I'm making this a part of the F.E.M.M.E formula, because you got to remember, the F.E.M.M.E formula is about femininity, emotional healing. That is at the top. Magnetism, money, and energy. That is the F.E.M.M.E formula. That is one of my missions, is to help women to be more feminine, to be comfortable in their femininity, and whatever aspect that looks like for you. Emotional healing, magnetism, money, and energy. And I wanted to be so transparent in this video because this was a very difficult year for me. I had to really come to terms with the fact that I may never be supported and celebrated by those that I know, by those that I've met along the journey, by those who have seen me start this thing, like friends who I've known since high school. I may never be supported. These people may never share my shit on social media. They'll share other people's shit. They'll share other celebrity videos, but they may never share my content. They may never like my posts. They may never say congratulations. I may hand them a business card and they may throw it away. I had to come to like grips with the fact, you know what I'm saying, that my mother is gone. My mother passed away close to 10 years ago. That may have been my loudest cheerleader. But I must keep going. I must keep going. I must continue on my journey no matter who celebrates me. And this is so important because a lot of women don't have support. They're trying to go back to school. They're trying to raise their kids alone. Shout out to my client, Keisha. I believe Keisha has 8 kids. Keisha, one of the hardest working women I know. This girl works so hard for her kids. She back in school. She launched a home care business. I pray so much success for you because I know how hard it is for you. And the fact that you keep going is it's amazing. It's amazing. So I am making this video for women who feel unsupported, who feel as if they don't have anybody in their corner. And the people who are in your corner may be flawed. They may be not people who you would have originally wanted to be in your corner, but they're in your corner. Like, my dad was my cornerstone for 6 years. He was the one I called when I needed a babysitter. He was the one I called when I needed food, when I needed help. That was my dad. That was my dad. He was the one who helped me get to where I am today. And I love him for that. He may not be healthy right now because unfortunately he did have a relapse and he has gotten back into drugs. But I love my dad and I thank him for the 6 amazing years that he gave and sacrificed to help me and my child get to where we are. So you may have somebody in your corner. It may not be your child's father. It may not be your immediate family. It may not be your closest friends that you grew up with. But I pray that God sends you somebody in your corner that will help you, to help you keep going. Help you keep going. Help you keep going. Because you can't afford to stop.